no idea what we're, I say, as a matter of fact, we got a couple that we're counseling now, and we just said that just the other day to them too. We were talking about the vows, rich or poor. Most of us understand what that means.
Right.
Sickness and health. Most of us understand what that means. For better or worse.
Right.
We got no idea what that means.
Oh, yeah.
But to your point, T, that's just a very true statement, because we know what we like, but we don't know what we should like, particularly as it relates to what we claim claim the results are that we want. So we say we want this great marriage and great relationship, right? But we pick people who don't have the qualities or the traits that will get us to the great marriage, great relationship.
Right.
They appeal to our vision, right?
Right.
They appeal to what that stimuli that whatever we're turned on to at
whatever
the time.
It is, men or women. We pick based on more likely than not superficial things, and because that's what we pick on, pick based on, the relationship doesn't get any deeper than the superficial things. Well, superficial relationships don't last.
No.
Let's touch base on some of those colloquialisms, right? Those common phrases that have been passed down the generation. They say stuff like, "Well, you know what you was getting into when you married her."
No, you didn't.
And you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You didn't. And it's
And that just becomes a thing. I don't want to talk too much, but that just becomes a thing. Because we have no idea what we're, I said, as a matter of fact, we got a couple that we're counseling now, and we just said that just the other day to them too. We were talking about the vows, rich or poor. Most of us understand what that means.
Right.
Sickness and health. Most of us understand what that means. For better or worse.
Right.
We got no idea what that means.
Oh, yeah.
We have no clue what that means. And when it gets to that better or worse, that's when that character really needs to kick in.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, you need it with the richer and poor, you need it with the sickness and health, but because you have no idea how bad worse can get.
Right.
It's a draw too, right? It's a draw. And so when you don't have, godly counsel, when you don't have counsel involved, when you don't have another way of thinking or doing things, you can get so sucked into bickering, so sucked into arguing, so sucked into lowering your expectations.
Sure.
That you don't fight to stay together anymore. As a matter of fact, the avoidance is more of the desire, right? You want to avoid the conversation, and you say like you're avoiding confrontation, but you're really slowly but surely conscious of pulling yourself apart.
Sure.
And I think, and I say that to say this is that level of consciousness, to your point, for better or for worse. This is, wait a minute, there is a way to fix this. There is a way to reset. And a lot of times people don't take that route because, oh, you said it, and I'm gonna say it back, and you did this and you did that. And so you become this situation where, especially for a man, you're following. When a woman says something negative to you and you say something negative back, you're following. You're following.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, any conflict is determined by the response, not by the initial action.
Right.
You slap me in my face. Well, I'm still the one that determines whether or not we're going to be in a fight, based on what I do next.
Yeah.
So that kind of dynamic is always there as it relates to relationships. But I think as well as we talk about marriage and relationships and trying to deal with issues, I don't think that we teach people how to deal with issues anymore.
Come on.
No, we don't. We teach them how to run. We teach them how to get out of Dodge as soon as you possibly can. As soon as trouble shows up, I'm gone. See you.
Right. We say take a breather, walk away, right, when it gets escalated, but we don't teach them how to re-engage.
Right.
There's a difference between taking a breath, getting yourself together, calming yourself down, and just straight up running. That's the difference. There's a difference between the two. And the reality is, like you said, we haven't taught people, first of all, how to have an argument constructively, how to argue with rules, how to debate your point without, completely getting flustered, and I think it's important that, even before you think about trying to get married, that you ought to be with a person long enough to see them at their worst, to see them in a predicament that perplexes them and taxes them, and they ought to be able to see you in a similar situation, so that way you can get a gauge as to what you're going to be dealing with when the bad times come, because it's guaranteed bad times are going to come. So who am I going to have on my team when bad times show up?
Right. Let me challenge you guys. Go ahead, Pastor.
Well, I was just going to say really quickly, I agree and disagree with Adam on something right here. I believe that a person, a man or a man for the most part, knows if a woman is marriage material, at least has an idea as to whether or not he wants to marry a particular woman within 6 months to a year.
Okay.
Now, I don't think he should, within 6 months to a year, marry a woman.
Right.
I think even though you think she is the kind of woman that you may want to marry in 6 months to a year, though you may have that awareness, now you still need to take some time to watch and see.
True. I agree with that.
Because you can be wrong.
Yeah.
And by take some time, I'm talking about a couple of years at least. Years.
That makes sense. I took 3.
Hey guys, it's Pastor John here. Please, if you like this video that you just saw, hit that like button for us. Second thing I want to ask you to do is to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're putting out videos once a day at about 5:30 p.m. Hit that bell notification so that you'll know when a new video has been uploaded. And then the final thing to do, share this video, share this information. If you know somebody that has a need that it can be benefited by it, please put it out in circulation so that we can try to help as many people as possible. Thanks, and God bless.